Genesis chapter 14. And it came to pass at that time, that Amraphel, king of Sennaar, and Arioch, king of Pontus, and Chedorlaomer, king of the Elamites, and Thadal, king of nations, made war against Bara, king of Sodom, and against Bursa, king of Gomorrah, and against Seneb, king of Admah, and against Sumber, king of Spim, and against the king of Bala, which is Segar. All these came together into the woodland vale, which now is the Salt Sea. For they had served Chedorlaomer 12 years, and in the 13th year they revolted from him. And in the 14th year came Chedorlaomer, and the kings that were with him, and they smote the Raphim and Ashtaroth Karnaim, and the Zuzim with them, and the Emim in Save of Kiriathaim, and the Corines in the mountains of Seir, even to the plains of Pharan, which is in the wilderness. And they returned, and came to the fountain of Misphat, the same as Cuds, and they smote all the country of the Amalekites, and the Amorn that dwelt in Azazimthamar. And the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Spim, and the king of Bala, which is Segar, went out, and they set themselves against them in battle array, in the woodland vale, to wit, against Chedorlaomer king of the Elamites, and Thadal king of nations, and Amraphel king of Sennaar, and Arioch king of Pontus, 4 kings against V. Now the woodland vale had many pits of slime. And the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah turned their backs, and were overthrown there, and they that remained, add to the mountain. And they took all the substance of the Sodomites, and Gomorrites, and all their victuals, and went their way, and Lot also, the son of Abram's brother, who dwelt in Sodom, and his substance. And behold, one, that had escaped, told Abram the Hebrew, who dwelt in the vale of Mamre the Amorite, the brother of Eshcol, and the brother of Aner, for these had made a league with Abram. Which when Abram had heard, to wit, that his brother Lot was taken, he numbered of the servants born in his house, 318, well appointed, and pursued them to Dan. And dividing his company, he rushed upon them in the night, and defeated them, and pursued them as far as Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the substance, and Lot his brother, with his substance, the women also, and the people. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him, after he returned from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him in the vale of Save, which is the king's vale. But Melchizedek, the king of Salem, bringing forth bread and wine, for he was the priest of the Most High God, blessed him, and said, Blessed be Abram by the Most High God, who created heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, by whose protection, the enemies are in thy hands. And he gave him the tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me the persons, and the rest take to thyself. And he answered him, I lift up my hand to the Lord God the Most High, the possessor of heaven and earth, that from the very woof thread unto the shoe latchet, I will not take of any things that are thine, lest thou say, I have enriched Abram. Except such things as the young men have eaten, and the shares of the men that came with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre, these shall take their shares.